Welcome to this week's Whiskey Burn. Christmas is on its way, so people are looking to buy presents and get presents. So this week it's all about budget end whiskies, the lower priced end. So maybe a person who you kind of like, but you want to get them something whiskey related but not overly expensive. Or you're on a budget, which most of us are, let's be honest. And here I've got a selection that are easily accessible, easy to get, and are relatively cheap. Nothing wrong with that, and some of these taste just as good as some of the more expensive ones. So, budget whiskey for Christmas. Whether you're asking for something but someone's got a budget to get through, or you're buying for someone. Okay, so I've got four here. I've got the Crag and Glen, which is a blended 3-year-old. Johnnie Walker Red Label. I've got a Glenlivet American Oak Cask, and a Tamillan Speyside single malt whiskey. Now, like I said, these are probably your budget whiskies. This one, I know it's a smaller bottle, it's only 35 centilitre, 40%, easy drink, blended, it's a special reserve. People stick that on just to try and sell it. Matured in oak casks, so you're expecting something relatively easy, and that's it. And as you can see, I'm half a bottle down. Easy. It smells like the Glenlivet, if I'm honest, but this is the cheapest bottle I've ever bought. I think it was about £10 from a supermarket. So get yourself to a supermarket if you're on a budget. There are sales and sales and sales. You wouldn't believe. Even if it means you have to get one of their cards to be a member or something, get one. The sales are phenomenal. I bought this for around £25. Johnnie Walker, one of the best-selling whiskey brands. The Red Label is, I would say, probably the cheaper of all of their range, but a very easy drinker as well. Not much to it, really, on that little bit of smoke. I remember when I tried that, I expected quite a bit. Again, the easy drinkers, that's all you're after. Someone who's thinking of getting into whiskey, you don't want to spend a small fortune on buying whiskey for them, because if they try it and go like that, they're going to be sat there with a full bottle and you've just spent 50 quid on it. These are all under 30 easily, so can fit in the budget. This is one of my favourites. It's the Glenlivet American Oak Cask. You can get this almost anywhere, and it is on sale, and it's 40%. 7 litre bottle, under 30 quid, and it's beautiful, it's lovely. It does actually, caramels, toffees, etc. on that, vanilla. This one, I would say, is close to your Macallan. So people go, I want the Macallan. I think their cheapest bottle is £72, the Macallan. This, around £25, £30, and it'll taste roughly the same. Give or take, If an expert had it, then yes. We're talking budget. Great whiskey, great Christmas present, and I would say it was under 30 quid. If I got that from someone who I knew was on a budget, or someone who just wants to buy me something, great whiskey to have. I've always got one of those on the shelf. And the Tamillan Speyside single malt, another one. They all look good. They've got the nice label, the information about it. This is a double cask. Individual batch number 0308. People are putting numbers on now, batch numbers on, to try and make it a little bit more swanky. So if you bought one with a batch number, people might go, ooh, it's a batch number, it might cost more. Tamillan have got this lovely range where this one is the Speyside. They do a red wine cask, which is lovely, a white wine cask, one that's lovely, and a double cask, which is this one. And they're just really nice little collection. But again, if you're on a budget, this is a fantastic whiskey. And I've not had much of this, and I'm not sure why. I think I prefer the white one. Double cask matured for a classic Speyside taste. Rich, smooth and mellow. There you go. Easy drinker. And remember, if you're buying something for someone who you're on a budget for, and they're just starting whiskey drinking, it's a great start to their journey. I always say it's a journey because you start somewhere and you slowly make your way through. I started on really smoky stuff. Johnnie Walker Double Black was my go-to. I don't remember the last time I had a Johnny Walker Double Black. But this is such a lovely drink. It's an easy. It's got... People go, oh, it just smells of whiskey. Well, yeah, it's going to, isn't it? But when you get through that, you've aired it. Even with the budget ones, I probably should have poured that to prove to you that you can still get a lovely whiskey even for a tenner. Just about. But it's all individual tastes as well. That's the great thing about whiskey. Yes, some people say they all smell the same. They don't. But trying different whiskies, using these budget ones to start someone off is a great, great way to do that. And if you're on a budget for Christmas, then again, one of these, get yourself down to one of the big supermarkets. There's deals and sales on galore, and you can pick up some really nice stuff. Oh, very smooth, easy to drink, no whiskey burn. That is a lovely whiskey. So let me know what you think. Comment below. Let me know whether you think budget whiskies are worthwhile. If you're a regular for the whiskey drinking, then this probably, you might have some of these at the back of your cupboards. But for those on a budget, or even those who aren't but want something that's cheap but good and cheerful for Christmas or something, then, maybe go for one of these two. They are decent whiskies. Just because the price is low doesn't mean that they're not any more better. Like I say, the Glenlivet American Oak is, I think, similar to the flagship Macallan, the standard Macallan. I think it's lovely. But this beautiful Tamillan Speyside double cask, very nice. And they've got a little range. So if someone likes this Tamillan one, you could then get them one of the other ones, the white wine cask, the red wine cask, for example. Try them out. Try setting people on a journey. So there we go. I think that's it for this week. It's a simple case of budget whiskey. You can get some very nice stuff. You've just got to go and look for it, and you can find it. But that's it for this week. Next week I'll be talking about slightly more expensive whiskey. If people have been on journeys or your budget's slightly higher than, say, 30 quid, it's more £50 or something like that, I will have a selection that you might want to buy or might want to think of buying for someone. So that's next week. But this week, it's budget whiskey for Christmas. And you might say, I'll have one of them, or them, or them for Christmas Day. Because you've got the family round, easy drinkers, pour. And you don't go, oh, all my really, really good stuff's gone. Anyway, that's it for this week. Enjoy your whiskey. Sláinte.